So good evening. So last week we started the Halachot of Borer, separating food on Shabbat. We'll go over very fast things that we learned last week and go into practical questions we have many times on Shabbat. So we learned that the definition of Borer, and that's very important, is taking a mixture, that the mixture as is isn't edible or isn't usable. You can't use it. And by separating, now you create something that you can use. For example, you have a mixture of grains, wheat grains, with all of the leaves and other things. You can sell it, you can't eat it like as is. By separating it, now you created something that you can use. You can take it to the market and sell it at the market. So that's the definition of borer, separating in order to create something new. And also we defined that when we do it in the way of eating, that's permitted. You can eat, you're allowed to eat on Shabbat. It's a mitzvah to eat on Shabbat. So if you do it by the way of eating, that's permitted. If you do it in the way of more making it to the market, that's a problem. And we learned the rule of ochel bayad umiyad, which means when can you separate something on Shabbat? If you take the food, or you take the thing that you want, you do it by hand, and you do it for an immediate use. Today we will discuss today the definition of an immediate use. We mentioned it last week, but we'll just mention it again today, and then we'll go to the definitions of what is considered a mixture. But before we begin, it's important to know that borer is also not just with food. It's not just with food. Let's say grandkids came for Shabbat, and as children sometimes do, not always, sometimes, like every day, they make a mess. Yeah, and they took your different games that you have, especially for them, and mixed them up together. And now you have the Remy Cube together with the Taki cards and the regular cards, and everything is mixed up. So you can't separate it on Shabbat. Now by separating, you aren't creating food. Hopefully no one will be eating the cards, unless you have babies. But you're creating now a set of a game that can be used as a set of a game. So you can't separate the cards.
Applies to non-food as well.
Yeah, also for non-food. But the same as we said by non-food, ochel bayad umiyad, which means that I take what I want with my hand for an immediate use. So let's say I know I want to play now Remy Cube, and the Remy Cube pieces are mixed up in all the other cards. I can take with my hand the Remy Cube for a game I want to play now. So that's how you can separate those games on Shabbat. If you want to use them now, you can take what you want in order to use them now. We defined also last week that to use them now, it's for the coming meal and the time when that's the normal time to prepare for the coming meal. To give an example, I said we finished the meal on Shabbat day. Now it's a summer Shabbat, so you have enough time to shluf. When do you start preparing Seudah Shlishit? Not right away. First you shluf, first you take a walk, you sit down on the sofa, read something. Half an hour before the next meal, that's when you start preparing the meal. So that's more or less when that's considered for immediate use when you're starting to prepare the next meal. So that's the definition of miyad. We define also bayad, by hand. We'll get to it in just a moment. And we define also food. Taking out food doesn't mean only food. It means whatever I want. For example, if I want the Remy Cube, bayad, let's say I want to separate, I want to take out a potato, small pieces of potato from the chulent. I made the chulent into small pieces, and everything is mixed up. So I come to take the fork inside, and then the frumer guy tells me, hey, wait, we learned you can separate only ochel, you're taking the food for immediate use, but bayad, using your hands, can you use your fork in order to take out a potato from the pot, or you have to do it by hand? Why can you use the fork? That's the normal way of doing it. So bayad means with things that's the normal way of doing it, not things which are meant for separating or sifting things. Derech achila. So you hopefully most people use a fork, at least not in China. They use chopsticks maybe. So you could fork. That's the way. That's how you take food. That's the normal way of taking it out. So a fork can be looked as an extension of the hand. That's definition of bayad. An important definition, which we maybe mentioned last week, we mentioned again here, but now we have to put a focus on that, is a mixture. Do we have borer when there's no mixture? What? What do you? Yeah. So I have, let's say, 3 apples. Okay. Next to them, I have 2 oranges. So I'm trying to talk here. Let's. We're gonna try to talk so you can now. We can hear you now. Wait, pause. So do we have borer when there's no mixture? So if I have 3 oranges next to 2 apples, I don't want the apples. I want the oranges. Can I take the apples away? Yeah, I want to put them in the fridge. Put them in the fridge. Yeah.
Not mixed up.
Exactly. So by definition, borer is only when there is a mixture. The definition of borer is taking something which is a mixture and we can't use it, and by separating it, making it to something that I can use. If there's no mixture, so I'm not doing anything here. Okay, so an apple next to an orange, there's no mixture. 2 apples next to 2 oranges, there's also no mixture. If I have apple, orange, there's also no mixture, right? It's very separated. Let's say if I have a bookshelf, I have a bookshelf of books, okay, and everything is organized there. There's no mixture there, and my frugal guy is coming for a meal. Before he comes, I want to move away a few of the books, so he won't see what I'm reading. Okay, so there's no mixture here. Okay, I can do it. Okay, it's not mixed up. Borer is only when there is a mixture.
Such thing as a mixture of books.
Well, books. If you go up to the library, we started cleaning up the library, and we took out a lot of books, and there's a pile of books that are mixed up. That I think so. Of Karelis, I'll tell you in a moment. What is the definition of a mixture? Yeah, Rav Kareli said it's hard exactly to define what is a mixture, what isn't a mixture. It's depends really on how people view it. If you view it as something the normal way, okay, if you have a pile of books and everything is there and it's not organized in the library, that's a mixture. If it's organized in the library, that's not a mixture.
I heard from a very big rabbi in Yeshiva University, he wouldn't go into his closet and pick out a shirt from the other shirts because that would be borer. We all thought that was crazy.
Okay, but that's separated. Maybe because men look at it as a particular clothes. They don't know what we have. Everything's mixed up in our minds, right?
Right.
Maybe I don't know. It depends where, like what clothes we have, and sometimes you just stuff everything in, and that will be a mixture. Sometimes you organize it well, and then you can see that there's no mixture. It's organized.
Something randomly from a mixture.
Even if it's a mixture and you want to use it, so that's fine. So let's say I want this shirt. I can take this shirt and take it. No problem about that. I'm taking what I want, which is called ochel. I'm using my hands and I'm doing it for an immediate use to wear it now. There's no even if the closet is considered a mixture, if I'm taking it to use now, that's fine. Okay, so that's no problem. Some people say if it takes effort to separate it. Like if you can see the separation, that's fine. If it takes effort to separate it, that might be a problem. Let's give a common example. Let's say we made fish. Okay, example from the halacha. We made fish, and I put the big pieces on the top and the small pieces on the bottom. So the big pieces are covering all the small pieces. But if you look at it, they aren't mixed up. You have a layer of small pieces and a layer of big pieces, and they're separated. It's true that they're touching each other, but they aren't mixed up. The same, can you peel a banana on Shabbat? Before you say yes, how do you know? Why can you peel a banana on Shabbat? You're taking the junk, the rubbish, or the garbage, depending if you're American or British, right? And you're taking the peel. You aren't taking the banana from it. So the only way is to peel before Shabbat? Possibly, it gets brown. Okay. Can you peel an orange on Shabbat? It doesn't get brown. Okay, so why? There's no mixture here, and that's the way of eating. Two things. One, as you said, there's no mixture. Second, that's the way of eating, and also it's not mixed up. Borer is only when there's a mixture here. Another example: you made soup, chicken soup, and you want only the broth, and the soup everything is inside, but all the heavy pieces went down, and all the broth is on the top. Let's say you don't want the broth. Okay, so can you take the broth out? Can I pour the broth out of the soup?
For the purpose of eating the broth.
No, for the purpose of having left on the bottom the vegetables that you want to get them. You want to keep the broth for Sunday. You don't want the broth now. You want to take the broth out and eat the vegetables. Okay, so the broth is considered what you don't want. It's psolet. You don't want the broth. But it's separated. The broth is on the top, all the vegetables are on the bottom. So until you reach close to the bottom, until it already looks like a mixture, you can take the broth out. I can't tell if it's a half a centimeter, 2 centimeters, but common sense. Okay, if it's a mixture, it's fine. Not a mixture, it's not. Another thing, so I remember in yeshiva, which we had an argument about it, and understanding the idea of mixture. Some of the chalot have a sticker on them. Have you seen chalot with a sticker on them? So usually, if it's a lechem mishneh, we don't want to take it off because then it ruins the lechem mishneh. But let's say without the problem of lechem mishneh, can I take the sticker off and cut it off on Shabbat? I'm taking the psolet, what I don't want, and separating it. What will be the answer? It's not a mixture, exactly. So whenever it's not a mixture, you can do it on Shabbat. Usually when we have big things, and only a few of them, it's not a mixture. I have a pile of 3 big books that are mixed up. You can't really mix up 3 books. Okay, but so it's not a mixture. If I have a pile of 100 books, then 50 books, that's a mixture. Okay, so it's hard to define what's exactly a mixture, what's not, but that's a very common example of a mixture. If we mention that, so let's mention a halacha, which the broth about tea. I offered you to make tea. You can go to the kitchen and make tea. You make tea on Shabbat. We learned already you can do it b'kli shlishi, according to many poskim. The tea bag. Can you take the tea bag out of the tea on Shabbat?
I'll go with it, no mixture.
Okay. So can you take the tea bag out on Shabbat?
I'll do it.
So we all do it. The tea bag itself isn't a mixture. Why? You can see the tea bag here, tea here, tea here. It's not a mixture. Where might we have a problem? And then there's 2 solutions. One of them is very simple. One of them is a bit less, also simple. When I take the tea bag itself, inside the tea bag, what do I have? A mixture. Okay, that's where the water and the tea is mixed up together with the tea. Okay, so that's already might be a mixture. And sifting it with not really by hand, with the tea bag, that might be a problem of borer. So we have 2 simple solutions. We'll say the more machmir one and the more maker. You can do whatever one you want. The more machmir one, take the tea bag out of a spoon and a bit of the liquids, a bit of the tea, and there's no problem. You didn't separate here the water from the tea bag. That's the more machmir. So if you see people taking out a tea bag with a spoon, you know why they do it. Another option is that's what I do. You take the tea bag right away and put it in the bin or over the sink, and then I'm not separating any water inside the tea, any liquid inside the tea. Yeah, if you take the tea bag and hold it above the teacup and let the water drip, and so you're separating. If you just take it out and move it away, so you aren't separating here anything. And that brings us to the next question. We have here nuts. What do we have here? We have here almonds. We have here what else? Cranberries and a few other interesting things. Let's say I want all of them. We want to eat all of them. But I decide it doesn't look nice. I want my table, I'm doing a Tu B'Shvat Seder, and I want my table to look, the almonds to be in one place, the cashews to be in one place, the sultanas raisins to be in one place. I want everything to be on its own. But everything can be eaten now. I can just take and eat. And everything will be eaten later. There's nothing here which is considered psolet. I want to eat everything. I just like it to be separated. I want the table to be colorful so I can see what I have. Look at the brachot. Say a brachot on each one. Yeah. Well, can you separate the foods to different piles of food, assuming that you want all of the pieces of food? You're going to eat the nuts, you're going to eat the cashews, you're going to eat the almonds. Everything is considered food. That's a big question, right? Yeah, that's a question. Let's think, why can't we do it? And then why yes, and then we'll give the answer.
It's a mixture.
It is a mixture, and it's separating. Okay. Why? So that's why. Exactly. There's no concept of some of it bad, some of it good. We said already, we mentioned that even if everything is food that I don't like, let's say onions. I hate onions. I actually do like onions, but let's say I don't like onions. If I separate the onions, that's borer, because from my perspective, it's not food. I don't want it. I can't eat it. Or I don't want it now. So that's borer. But if I want to eat everything, I want to eat this and I just want it separate. I want it to look nice. So I'll eat everything in 5 minutes. I just want it to be separated. That is fine. That is fine. Another question, which is actually the same answer. I have two things which are not food from my perspective, and I don't want both of them. Can I separate them? Let's give a common example. Let's say I have the leftover soup. We'll collect everything, leftover soup. The soup, each bowl has inside broth and bits of pieces of vegetables and whatever. I'm not going to eat none of it. Yeah, I don't have a dog. I'm going to throw out everything. I don't want to throw the liquids inside the garbage can, right? Because it's too much liquid, it will leak. So what do I want to do? Put the liquid in the sink, exactly, and then throw the rest in the garbage. The sink has this, how do you call it? The funnel? The what? No, not the drain. No, it had the thing with the holes. How do you call it? The drain? Okay. So it will separate by a tool between the liquids and all the rest of the junk. Okay. Can I do it on Shabbat? Can I pour everything into the sink and then that sift in the sink will separate everything? And I'll put the liquids goes down to the drain and the rest goes down to the garbage. Can you do it on Shabbat? What?
We do it.
So if they do it, well, okay. So, well,
the Hebrew from sieve, it's like a strainer. It's
yeah. I'm using a strainer. I'm not using my hands. I'm separating it with a strainer, by a tool which was made especially for that.
Right. I mean, that's awesome. That's
It's also having an argument. That's great. Arguments are always good. They bring us to life.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do.
So from now on, no more soup on Shabbat. Only schnitzel. No, chas v'chayra. Sorry. The what? Okay. A happy plate. Okay. Or have a dog and have the dog clear up everything for you, and then it's. But the answer is yes. You can do it on Shabbat. When you use this drainer, am I creating here something which is edible, something which can be used? No, everything goes to the garbage, right? I'm just separating it because it's easy. I'm changing psolet mitoch psolet, okay, garbage from garbage. There's nothing, I'm not creating anything here. And the definition of borer is creating food or creating something which is usable by separating. Here, I'm not creating anything which is usable. So that is permitted on Shabbat. Okay, so you can use it on Shabbat. Next time you're asked to clean up the table, you can't say, well, I'm a frumer, sorry, I can't do it. It's Borer, you do it. No, that's it. We can do it. Okay, we can do it on Shabbat. And because we aren't creating here any food. Here's another question, which is also very common. And someone asked me a few times about it. And actually, the halacha has somehow brings the answer. Do you have this brita or tami arba, okay, or any water filter on Shabbat? Can you use a water filter on Shabbat? Now, before we all say yes, we have here a filter, which is made to filter water. That's the purpose of it. It's made to filter water. And so we said ochel be'ad v'miyad. It's not by hand. It's by something which is a machine or a filter or whatever. It's made to filter the water, and it's separate. It's taking out the bad things. Okay, so it's not the ochel. It's taking out the bad. Minuscule. Okay, but it's still there. I'm arguing. If you say minuscule, I'll say it's. If you say it's permitted, I'll say it's also. If you say the opposite, I'll say. So Danny wants to say it's minuscule. You can't see it. And I say, well, okay, in the end, the filter is there. We pay hundreds of shekels a year, I guess, to take out those minuscule things. No more water on Shabbat, just Coke. Okay. Lucky, okay, just Coke on Shabbat. No. Okay, so the answer is again also here you can do it on Shabbat. And the minuscule is the beginning of an answer. Let's say I have water mixed up with sand in it. Can you drink the water? No, you can't drink the water. If I have water, I take it from the tap. Can I drink the water? Yes. Most people also probably drink the water. I prefer for the taste, I prefer for health reasons, whatever it is, I prefer to separate the minuscule parts of it and drink it after the filter. So am I taking something which isn't food and creating it into food? No. The water is food. Oh, okay, not food. Drink and free. The water is considered food, halachically. I mean, you can drink it. And also after you sift it, you can drink it. So I'm not creating here anything new. And since I'm not creating here anything new, we can do it on Shabbat. You can fill up the Brita water on Shabbat, and there's no problem about that. You can eat healthy. You don't have to drink just Coke. Okay, so that's for water. Let's see if we have more interesting questions.
New York City, there was an issue, you can actually see the little organisms in the water.
Okay.
And so could you drink that? Could you filter that?
So you can see the organisms in the water. That's already done.
50 years ago.
Yeah. When I was a child, there was a problem in Rehovot. There was a problem with the water pumps, and some worms somehow got into the water pumps. I thought they were laughing at us that you shouldn't drink the water. Actually, yeah, somehow there was a problem, a leak inside the water system, and worms came in. And for a few days, we had to filter the water and boil the water and everything before we could eat it. So if you can still drink it, if you can still drink it, you can use a filter for it. If you can drink it, but only it's called bishat adchak. Okay, let's say you have wine, okay, or grape juice that has still all of the pieces of grapes swimming inside, or yeast swimming inside. If it's a lot of yeast inside, no one drinks wine like that. But sometimes you get unfiltered grape juice. People usually don't like the unfiltered grape juice. Well, you can buy unfiltered grape juice, but for I think that even the unfiltered beer, I think it is a bit filtered. I think. But let's say you get unfiltered wine, okay, or unfiltered water you can drink it. Okay, you can drink it, but most people don't do it. But if you want to, you can. Then you can't use a filter to do it, but you can use a piece of cloth to do it. Since we need already a shinoi, a different way, because it's drinkable but not completely drinkable. So you need That's not supposed to be for that. That's I want to read for you the halacha inside. Find it first. Sorry. Let's read inside. מים שיש בהם תולעים. I guess in the time of Shulchan Aruch that actually had that problem. מותר לשתותן. You can drink from it. על ידי מפה בשבת. Okay. על ידי מפה בשבת. And so you can put a piece of cloth and drink it. We need to continue the Shulchan Aruch because you have a great question. It's also a filter. A piece of cloth is a filter. Let's continue the Shulchan Aruch. זה לא שייך בורר. Okay, borer is only when במתקן העניין קודם אכילה או שתייה. When you prepare the food before you eat or before the drink. And when we talk here about cloth, it means putting a cloth on the bottle and drinking from the cloth. Okay, so in that way, and let's continue, אבל אם בשעת שתייה, while you're drinking, you have a piece of cloth, מעכב את הפסולת שלא ייכנס לתוך פיו, you're stopping, preventing the bad things to come into your mouth, אין זה מעין מלאכה ומותר. That's considered an action of drinking. So you can filter that water with a cloth, if not pouring the cloth into a cup, putting the cloth above a cup and then pouring it, but pouring the water in the cup, putting the cloth on it, and then drinking through the cloth. Into the cloth. That you can be done. I'm not sure what they did in New York, but okay, bottled water, that's obviously the...
When people make Turkish coffee, where the sediment, boats fall to the bottom, they just drink, is that Borer?
There's a, I want to read here also, 1 second.
No, when you drink liquid and, no, you're not.
Hey, you asked a great question, and I said, okay, I was wanting to read it. Let's read it inside because it's you make black coffee. That's what I do here. You make black coffee. And cafe bots. Turkish coffee. Yeah, I'm not sure if now people are changing the name from Turkish coffee to black coffee because of the Turks. But if you look at Cafe Elite, which is called Cafe Turki, they started changing the names of it and put Beyachat Enatzeach or other things. So I'm not sure if they'll go back to Turkish coffee or not. Someone told me once that the Turkish people don't drink coffee, they drink tea. And we as Israelis, we gave it the name Turkish coffee because it sounds like romantic. And that's what I'm not sure what's true or not, but anyway. So let's read. מותר להראות בנחת מכלי לחברו. You can, let's say you have Turkish coffee or wine with all of the and the bottom. And as long as I won't read the Hebrew, I'll translate while instead of reading. But he needs to make sure that when the small drops start coming out from the seeds of the coffee, or whatever it is, the mud of the coffee, it's also called in Hebrew cafe bots, it's like mud. So when let's say a coffee can be miracle, cafe nes, or cafe bots. Okay, that's all mud. Anyway, so as soon as you get to the end, you have to stop because then it shows that the reason you're doing it is because of borer. Okay, so as soon as you get to the mud, you need to stop. But stop pouring. Let's say you have 2 cups. You want to empty 1 cup to another cup. One has the mud inside it, the Turkish coffee, and one's empty. So you pour. When you get to the end, before you reach really the drops inside the Turkish coffee, so you have to stop. Says the Mishnah Berurah, but maybe you still tell me before we continue. Let's remind ourselves a second. We said derech achila. If it's that's the way of drinking, you can drink. That's the way of eating, you can eat. Can I drink the coffee and really reach until the end? Yeah, there's no borer. The Mishnah Berurah here says, we're talking about a person who's moving from 1 cup to the other cup, not in order to drink right away. He's doing it in order to keep it for some time. Okay, let's read it. That's what we're reading inside. ומה יראה? We're talking about שרוצה לשתות לאחר זמן. His plan is not to drink it now. He wants to drink it only in half an hour. But if you want to drink the coffee now, if you want to, so obviously you can drink from the cup, and even if you get until the mud and just sift with your mouth the liquid from the seeds, that's fine. And even if you pour from one cup to the other cup, and the plan is to drink right away, you can still do it. It's because it's only a problem when you want to drink in half an hour or so. Okay, we still have 3 minutes, so let's. Can you wash lettuce from sand on it? That's maybe will be our last topic, or maybe we'll have 2 more topics. Can you wash lettuce from sand on it? But lettuce many times has a lot of sand. What do you do? Do it before Shabbat. Or sometimes you don't have time, or sometimes okay. So as he brings us to the previous topic, there's no mixture. There's sand on the lettuce, but there's no mixture on it. So many poskim say it's fine. Some poskim say it's a problem, but many poskim say you can wash lettuce on Shabbat. There's no problem with it. And maybe one more halacha that will conclude. When a bug falls inside the soup, what do you do? So some people say, I can't drink all of it, I'll just throw everything out. But you have a bowl of soup, and now the bug fell inside the soup, a fly fell inside the soup. Can you take the bug out? Is it borer or no? He's dead, or it's dead. Okay, it's dead. If it's a matter of if the bug is already, if it's one bug, just take it out. There's no borer, there's no mixture here. If there's a few bugs, take them out, each bug with a spoon of the soup of it, and then you aren't separating here food, you're taking a bit of soup with a bug also in it. So we'll conclude here, and Bezat Hashem.